Hello Scentatics, welcome to Fragrance Therapy. I'm your host and I was able to get my hands on all 4 new releases from Aromatix and French Avenue. I got them last week, so I've been testing them out for a week. I'm going to go over each one, I'll tell you about my thoughts, we'll go over the performance. I'm going to start with my least favorite and work my way up to my most favorite, so let's jump in. At the number 4 spot, we have Forbidden Fruit. And right off the rip, this gives you this ripe, juicy, and sweet fruit. You especially get creamy, sweet peach. There's also this interesting margarita note. And once you know it's in there and you smell it, you can definitely pick it up. You also definitely get woods and this like powdery base. I think this is an original creation, but it's like nothing I've smelled before. Again, fruity, sweet, woody with this warm amber base. Comes off much more gourmand than I was expecting. Ideal for the cooler months, makes it a good choice for the fall, winter, maybe cool spring evenings. This is the most feminine fragrance in the entire bunch also. Now all of these and the older releases, they're all extrait de parfums. So there's like a baseline of 6 to 6.5 hours of longevity on all of them right out of the box. I know that doesn't seem impressive, but I do have all of the originals of his first 4 releases, and every single one improved with time. So they do mature over time and do get stronger and better. I anticipate that's going to happen with these ones also, but right out of the box, this was already the strongest performer. I got 8+ hours longevity, strong projection already. I usually don't talk much about presentation, but this thing does look sick. I mean, this orange gradient with the black writing, definitely the nicest looking bottle in the entire Aromatix line. Unfortunately, this also might be my least favorite fragrance in the entire line as well. To my nose, there's something almost sickly sweet about it that just gives me a headache. Maybe it's the peach. I can't quite put my finger on it. The ladies might love this actually, but it's just not for me. Can you smell quality in this? 100%. And the dry down is wonderful. I think Neeb is a perfectionist, and I think he got exactly the scent that he was looking for. It's just something I can't personally rock. It's good quality stuff though, no doubt. So spoiler alert, the next 3 are all excellent. Also, the order could change the more I wear these and the more they mature. But at this moment, I would say my number 3 spot goes to Tease Me. And this really does pain me, because this smells so incredibly good. This is also another one that I think is an original creation. I've seen it be compared to Imagination, but it's not Imagination. Far more citrusy than Imagination. I've also seen it get compared to Nishane's Wulong Cha, and I see that way more than I see Imagination, but the dry down is much more creamy and ambery in this one. Now, I love tea fragrances, and I think Aromatix cooked with this one. This is like the greatest hits when it comes to the notes. Ginger and lime on top. I've said it in my past videos how much I love that combination. Black tea and cardamom in the mid. Also 2 of my favorites. Vanilla, tonka, ambers, and resins in the base. I mean, like, come on, man. I think these are like tailor-made for my taste. And every note smells so freaking realistic. It's crazy. And like I said, the top 3 are all fire. So why is this at 3 instead of 2 or 1? Well, it comes down to performance. I only got 6 hours on skin with this one with moderate projection. I get it. It's a hard scent profile to get performance out of. And like I said, I'm sure it's going to mature. It's going to help with the longevity and maybe even the projection. But I'm going by what I've tested in the moment. And in the moment, it is by far the poorest performer. It smells so good though. Gonna be a killer in the summer if the performance just picks up. Also leans masculine, but I think the ladies can pull it off just as well. At the number 2 spot, I'm gonna go with Magnetiq. And of the 4, this feels definitely most like a clone. I immediately got Reflection Man 45, albeit with like a citrusy twist. Both are aromatic, woody, and powdery scents. They both share the notes of lavender, pink pepper, neroli, iris, cedar, sandalwood, vanilla, myrrh. So there's a lot of crossover here. And the notes that are different, Aromatix just replaced them with similar type of notes. He replaced jasmine with orange blossom. He replaced angelica with rosemary. And then vetiver and patchouli with oak moss. Different notes, but they do yield similar results. I would say Reflection Man is a bit more resinous in the base. And this one is, like I said before, a little bit more citrusy, especially in the opening. For as long as I've been collecting, I've always thought that Shiaka, this silver or red, whatever you call it, was the best take on Homage Reflection Man DNA. I think there's a new king in town though. Again, with this one, the ingredients come off super high quality, Good performance out of the box with this one also, which surprised me a little bit. I thought based on the scent profile, it's going to perform a little worse. 8 hours of longevity right out of the box. Strong projection for the first hour or so. Another one that's going to work great in the summer, but I think you could probably rock this all year round, especially as an office scent. This is probably the most masculine of the lot as well. If you like fragrances that make you smell fresh, they make you smell clean. It's like fresh out the shower wearing clothes that came right out of the laundry. This is an amazing option, and in my opinion, it's pretty versatile too. And that leads to my current favorite of the new releases, and that's Sunkissed. And honestly, when I was looking at these notes before these came in, I 100% thought that this was going to be my least favorite. First of all, the notes look very similar to Tease Me, but after smelling both, while there are some similarities, they both have tea, for example, they do stand on their own. I have heard this being compared to Mason Martin Margiela's Neverending Summer, and in full transparency, it's been a really long time since I've smelled that fragrance, so I don't remember it enough to tell you how close this gets, but the notes certainly do indicate that there's some overlap here. This opens with this burst of tart, juicy citruses with pomelo, bergamot, and bitter orange. And that particular combo gives the citrus accord a bit of uniqueness. I've never smelled citruses quite like this, and it is strong in the opening. With lesser quality fragrances, you spray it on, and it stings your nose because you get this alcoholic or synthetic blast. With this one, I do get a sting in my nose, but it's by this like realistic sharp citrus. The mid is where you get some uniqueness with this one because one of the accords is like a sparkling creamy soda. I have no idea how they pulled that off, but actually when you spray it on, you do get cream soda as it dries. This one also features tea and cardamom, but it's not as prominent as it was in Tease Me. The base for this one is like warm, smooth. You get this creamy vanilla, this soft muskiness. I think it comes from something called amber tonic. You also get this earthy woodiness with vetiver, cedarwood, and cashmere. Also, good performance right out of the box. Maybe not as strong as Magnetiq or Forbidden Fruit, but I did get about 7 hours of longevity. Strong projection for the opening hour. Again, I'm not too worried when it comes to performance. All 4 of the last fragrance, like I said, they did improve over time. I'm expecting the same thing with this one. This is another one that leans more masculine, but I do think ladies can pull this off as well. Also, warm weather fragrance. I don't know why these Middle Eastern brands are doing this. It's probably because it's warm throughout the year in the Middle East, so they can probably pull it off all year round. But for suckers like us in the cold, we're going to have to wait for the spring for most of these. But I guess it gives them more time to mature. Now look, are any of these groundbreaking fragrances that are doing something totally out of the box? I would say no. But what they are extremely wearable fragrances, and they're focusing on quality ingredients, and they're still delivering them at an affordable price. So there you have it, folks. All 4 new releases from French Avenue and Aromatix. Let me know in the comments if you have any of these and which is your favorite. I know he has a couple more coming out soon, and I'll definitely get my hands on those as soon as they come out. Eventually, maybe by the end of the year, I'll do a ranking from my least favorite to my most favorite for the entire line. And please hit that like and subscribe button. Trying to grow the channel so I can keep bringing you this content. Every subscriber counts, and they'll help us reach that next milestone of 5,000 subs. And as always, stay tuned for more affordable fragrance content. Until next time, I'm out.